We've got fuzzy, blurry, leaked images of the Fuji X-H2S, providing hints of new capabilities. So why then am I leading with B-roll of the Fuji X-H1 then? Details coming up, but first I encourage you to subscribe and choose all notifications so you're kept informed on the latest camera gear, news and rumors like the Fuji X-H2S. In a world of modern smartphones where even a 4-year-old smartphone can produce very sharp and detailed images, even in low light situations, I kind of wonder about these blurry images. They're overly blurry, they're overly fuzzy. No matter what I do to them, I really can't make out any more detail. And I ask myself, well, why are they so blurry and why are they so fuzzy? Why is this? And I keep coming back to the conclusion that these are being leaked on purpose. This is coming from Fujifilm Japan or some other Fuji organization that is purposefully leaking them themselves, but they're overly blurring it. It's like, here, we're gonna leak images of this, but we're gonna blur it to the point where you don't get anything out of it. Sure, we can make out rough size and proportions. Sure, we can make out that it's got a flippy screen and it's got a D-pad and there's some other buttons here, but outside of that, it's impossible to garner any detail. So whoever leaked these images, I think they kind of went too far. And yeah, it's just gotten silly. Or maybe because you see a person in the background, maybe they're trying to obfuscate it to the point where they're protecting the person who took these images. I don't know about you, but if I was working with a company and we were doing testing on cameras and this amount of detail of this person here, I could probably figure out who it is. But I don't know. I think these are being leaked on purpose. And so what this tells me is we're getting very close to an announcement. We're getting leaked images of the Fujifilm X-H2S. But in terms of other capabilities, that's just not there. So I really do think we're going to see this camera announced at the Fujifilm X Summit on May the 31st. So in just about 3 weeks from today, it's supposed to have a 26 megapixel sensor, an APS-C sensor, and a sensor that's supposed to be backside illuminated. Now there's no mention if it's going to be stacked. And yes, you can have a sensor that's not backside illuminated or stacked, that is backside illuminated, and that is backside illuminated and stacked. You see, backside illuminated came first, and then we started to see cameras coming with not only backside illuminated, but stacked sensors as well. As far as price goes, well, we know the X-H2 is going to be under $2,500, so most likely around $2,499. And I suspect that the X-H2S will be somewhere within $300 to $500 less than that. It could be more, but it's just a wild guess. It's what I consider to be a Class C estimate. Wouldn't that be nice? $1999. I think. Yeah, what do you think? $21.99 is probably a bit more realistic, but it's looking to be quite an impressive camera, and it's also rumored to have 6K video. We don't know if it's going to do 6K 60. We don't know if it's going to do RAW, all-I, or IPB, but I think we can count on 6K at 24, 25, and 30 frames per second. It is shaping up to be an amazing camera, and the X-H2 at 8K video, UHD, that's looking pretty impressive with its 40 megapixel APS-C sensor, also backside illuminated. Pretty impressive. So just about 3 weeks away, I hope that we start to get much better leaks, much better photos, telling us some of the ports. Do we get a full-size HDMI? That's not a foregone conclusion. Or what about a mini? I hope we don't get a micro. Micro's terrible. And if you do get a micro, you need that cable stay management to help protect the camera because it's so easy to damage your camera when you got one of those micro HDMI ports. Just horrible. I don't like it. I got one on the R5. It just goes to show you, it doesn't matter how much you spend. Camera companies sometimes do things that just don't seem to make sense. And even on the R5, there's plenty of room that they could put in a full-size HDMI. So I'm not going to go down that road. But the Fujifilm X-H2 and the X-H2S are coming soon. The Fuji X-H2S will come first, most likely at the Fujifilm X Summit. And the X-H2 will come at a later date. We don't know when, but I assume it'll be at least 1 month spaced apart. So if we get the announcement at the end of this month, that means we're into June. So it could be a July or even August announcement. Since 2020, we've gotten camera announcements that come as late as July. Usually everything was wrapped up by May, and then we'd have another set of announcements in the back to school. So from the second week of September all the way up until about November. But since 2020, we've got big announcements in early July. We had the Canon R5 and R6. Then we had the Sony a7S III, which was at the end of July or beginning of August. So it is possible we can get announcements during the summer. So if you want to stay informed about the latest news for the Fuji X-H2 or the X-H2S, or maybe you want to know about the latest Nikon Z8 or what Canon's planning with the R1, make sure you subscribe and choose all notifications so that way, as soon as I publish a video, you'll be in the know. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon.